Welcome in, everyone. You are running with the runners. It's Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. We told you all silver hits another all-time high, $66 right now. The man, the myth, the legend here, Ricardo Hamilton, a.k.a. M.I.M.S, making it make sense. Let's go.
Hey. Man, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all running with the runners. Fired up and excited. I know y'all see what's going on. We documenting history, largest wealth transfer ever. We've been telling people for the longest time. This is the time to get excited because everything we've been telling people for years, we're actually seeing it play out right now. And those that have been running with us, accumulating God's money the whole time, is ahead of the curve, about to capitalize massively as we see history in the making live in real time right now. Fired up and excited as always. What's going on, brother? How you?
Well, thank you for the markets for timing this perfectly for our live tonight. Mims called me like 5 minutes before. He's like, bro, it's happening. We just broke 65. We hit 66. Guys, this is why you don't worry about the price and you focus on the value. And when the price is down, you keep buying, you don't care about the price.
Yeah, you gotta realize that silver is literally the best performing asset of 2025. And I told people in 2024, don't let me have to go get my 2024 reset, 2025 it begins hat, okay? But I said in 2025, we're gonna see all-time highs for silver. We are seeing all-time highs for silver, the best performing asset, still the most undervalued physical asset on the planet, still massively undervalued. Silver is going much higher. Okay, this is history in the making, but I hope you guys understand something. Even though silver is at an all-time high right now, it's not too late. It's not too late. You guys are still early technically to the party because even Main Street, CNBC, and other people who like to talk about silver and gold and project where these metals going, they're seeing it at $600 an ounce. They're saying we could see a 10x for silver. They're admitting now, okay, that they're going to see the value of this asset rise. But I'm telling you right now, we might see within the next 12 to 24 months, the inability for retail to purchase silver, okay? I'm calling it right now. I'm telling you within the next 12, 24 months, you won't be able to buy this metal because it is a strategic metal now, classified by the U.S. government, and is now the industrial demand and everything else for this metal is far outpacing the supply. What a time to be alive. I hope you guys are paying attention. Like this out, share this out. Everything that we've been talking about is manifesting right before our eyes. What a time to be collecting and holding God's money.
And MEMS, it's what we've been saying was going to happen. When you have undervalued assets for so long, smart money is buying them. And now the vaults are empty. The receipts are in. People left holding worthless paper are the losers. I mean, think about this, MEMS. $60 plus of silver for the first time.
Yeah.
Sprott, 800 million ounces of cumulative deficit.
They don't got it.
They don't got it, guys.
They don't got it.
LBMA stocks, that means the London, how much does London have? They're at their 2025 lows.
Yeah.
The COMEX registered is scraping the bottom. That's the other market where silver's traded. Indian premiums, meaning to get silver in India because they're smart and they're buying India, is $4 to $7 above spot. And China just banned silver exports in 2026 because of what Mim was saying in that it's a strategic metal now.
Yeah.
And countries are going to start saying, we're not selling. We're not shipping it out.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, silver is like oil. Okay, oil is the lifeblood of the global economy, but silver is the lifeblood of the economy as well, especially the technological economy that we're living in now. And the use of silver is in thousands, okay, and its applications and the use of it, not to mention medical and everything else. But when you talking about solar, so when Mike talk about China said, look, we ain't going to export no more silver. Because you got to understand, most people think about things on the day-to-day. Governments and corporations think about things in decades, okay? Just like when you look at the bond market, when people are buying bonds, they're looking at a 10-year bond, the 20-year, the 30-year, Okay, when you're looking at these assets, okay, when you're looking at these strategic metals and things of that nature, you got to think ahead of time. You got to start pricing in the future. You got to think about availability and access in the future. Okay, they got everybody thinking on the day to day, but we see what's going on ahead of time, and that's why China and other places are saying, "Well, we're no longer exporting it." Okay, and soon they're going to make it to where, well, no, the average person can't buy it because it's too critical to our economy. It's too critical to the growth of our industries. It's too critical for our ability for our military and for us to be able to defend and protect our nation. It is a very strategic metal. This is why we're telling you to get it now, because it might become unobtainium. And I'm saying within 12 to 24 months, you probably won't be able to buy it.
Yep. Industrial demand is outrunning supply, driving a projected 117 million ounce market deficit in 2025. Industrial silver demand is on track to far outpace supply by 2030, with production only meeting 62 to 70% of global needs. We are witnessing one of the largest structural demand shifts in silver's history, guys. You can see it here. Over half of the silver being pulled out of the ground every day is going into industry. There's over 10,000 uses for silver right now, right? Silver has nearly tripled since 2020, up over 190% as industrial demand crushes supply, guys. This is one of the biggest imbalances we have ever seen in global production.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. People just don't understand the where the economy is moving, and the global use and demand for silver is something like we've never seen for any physical asset in the time of history. Okay, especially when you start talking about solar panels. Okay, because obviously people don't realize that AI is exciting, robotics and all this is exciting, but they're already projecting we need twice the energy output that we're producing now just to sustain that. AI, and if you've been seeing about these data centers they want to pull up in certain states and then in counties, and people are battling against that, there's an energy crisis. Okay, and so when you start talking about silver, okay, and you start talking about its electrical conductive properties, all right, amongst everything else that it is, it's just something that it's not hard to see where the value is, where this is going, and why you want to hold this asset.
Here's the big news this week, Mims, and I sent you this to you. The silver squeeze is 100% coming. Will Samsung's battery breakthrough devour the remainder of the world's silver supply? This is huge.
Okay.
A perfect storm is brewing in the silver market. It is a storm that will be driven by a tsunami of industrial demand, a tsunami that will be so powerful that will overwhelm the world's ability to produce silver, and is a storm that will send the price of silver to levels that are unimaginable today. For decades, silver has been the forgotten precious metal. It has been overshadowed by gold and has been dismissed as a mere industrial commodity. All of that is about to change. A technological breakthrough in the electrical vehicle industry is about to unleash a wave of demand for silver that will be so massive that it will consume a significant portion of the world's annual production. And that is just the beginning. The solar industry is already consuming a massive growing amount of silver. Have a look at the chart below, guys. Demand for silver, and there's so much of it. Now, here's the game changer, guys. Samsung has developed a new solid-state battery that is set to revolutionize the electrical vehicle industry. This new battery offers a 600-mile range, a 20-year lifespan, and a 9-minute charge time. It is a game changer for the EV industry and is a game changer for the silver market. The reason is that this new battery uses a silicon carbon composite layer for the anode, and according to estimates, there could be as much as 5 grams of silver per cell in Samsung solid-state battery packs. A typical EV battery pack contains around 200 cells, which means that each vehicle could require about 1 kilogram of silver. To put this into perspective, global car production stands at about 80 million vehicles per year on the low end. If just 20% of these vehicles were to adopt Samsung solid-state batteries, the annual demand for silver would be about 16,000 metric tons. This would represent a significant portion of the current global silver production, which is approximately 25,000 metric tons, Mims. So we're talking about 2/3 of the silver production just going into this new solid state battery that Samsung. This isn't like maybe they're going to do this, Mims. They have already started production of this. And that's a conservative estimate. The penetration of solid state batteries into the auto industry could be as high as 50% or greater in the coming years. And that means the demand for silver from the EV industry alone could consume the entire annual production of the world.
Oh my God. It's over.
Get ready, baby.
It's over.
Congrats to the stackers out there.
Listen, silver get me just excited, if maybe not even more excited than crypto. Okay. I want you guys to, because when you talk, people love crypto because of the functionality, the principles, the characteristics of it. But understand that when they created the blockchain and digital money, they took the characteristics and principles of God's money. Okay. And so understand something, that what Mike just read to you guys, literally, it just blew my mind. Okay. Because we didn't even talk about the solar panel growth. Solar panel and the use for silver and solar panels, and in the military, and in the demand from China, India, and so many places. This is why I'm telling you, get it while you can. And not to mention, silver is returning to its role as money. It's constitutional money here in the United States. Gold and silver is money all across the world. And you have a debt crisis. We have a global debt crisis where the world is dumping paper money, fiat currency, and looking for real value, real money. The new system is going to run on real value, transparent, verifiable value. Okay. And it's going to be on the blockchain. So it's going to come to a point where you won't be able to get physical silver and gold. You can get the blockchain based digital form of it, and it's going to be stored in the bank. Maybe you get access to that. But for you to get physical silver and gold, well, silver is I would be hard pressed to imagine, with what Mike just read to you and what I know and understand about the use for silver in the military with missiles and everything else, the use for it, thousands of uses that we talked about, and let alone just the EV for electric vehicles, electric solid state batteries, and then solar panels alone. Okay, just that market in itself is totally going to overtake the available supply of silver. Companies and governments and institutions are going to have to buy silver years out. Okay, they're trying to buy future supply. They're trying to buy supply that doesn't even exist yet. So they're trying to lock in the future supply of silver that's going to be available in the next coming years, because they won't even have it now. So there won't be no silver for sale for retail. Okay, so you need to get it now while you can. This is the real money. You want to hold on to that asset. Okay, because it's going to come to the point, like I said, gold and silver is real money. It's God's money. The dollar is not money. If you got real money, if you got the asset that the world needs, the banks, the governments, the corporations need, you are the creditor now. Okay. So now I don't sell this. I use it as collateral. I borrow against it. You understand? I go to the bank and they need this. They go make loans and they go make money, and I benefit from the yield. I benefit on the interest of my asset. Okay, this is some historic times right now. These are biblical, historic times, and you need to make sure that you got God's money in your hand and get it while you can. $60, $67 for silver is nothing. It's nothing compared to where this price is going. Silver squeeze.
Yeah, and the big thing here, guys, is the geological, nature versus the market. And, being a history teacher, I've studied this, I've known this, is that gold and silver come out of the ground at 8-1. For every ounce of gold you mine, you'll find 8 ounces of silver. So you would think their prices would be close to 8-1. And they have been historically, until, and we've talked about this many times, Ricardo, silver has been manipulated for what? Like 175 years now? Since the crime of 1871?
Yeah.
So we now have, the prices are 80-1. So if we just price gold and silver parity of coming out of the ground, forget about the use cases of silver, right? Forget about most of the gold around still exists, because it doesn't have that many uses, but most of the silver ever mined has been used.
Yeah.
That's a 10x just right there, taking us from $65 to $650 per ounce of silver. And then we factor in the demand and the use cases. Again, I have no idea why silver is not worth more than gold. And I think it will be 1-to-1 one day, as we have said many times.
Yeah. Yeah, exponential growth. And Mike's absolutely right. Silver will be on a 1-to-1 ratio of gold. This is the most undervalued physical asset. And we're living during one of the most largest significant wealth transfer time periods ever in history. And most people don't understand, and like Mike said, that when they go looking, there aren't real silver mines. Okay.
Yep.
It's not like there's a lot of silver mines in different countries around the world. No, it doesn't work like that, folks. Silver is a byproduct of other mines, gold, or some other metal that they're digging for. They will find some silver here and there. And so what Mike's saying is they find in gold and they'll find some silver, but it's technically really a gold mine. But there aren't that many silver mines out there. I think Mexico has the largest, silver mine. Okay, so Mexico is going to be very wealthy, and the rise of Mexico and their peso, and when they back their currency, I think they were looking to back their currency by silver not too long ago. And as silver rises in value to stabilize their government, to stabilize their economy, you can already see where this is going. Okay, you can already see where this is going, but there's not a lot of silver out there to be had. There isn't just, they're just going to go dig up some more silver. It doesn't work that way. And even then, it takes a while for it to come to market. Okay, it's not like, there's silver here. No, there's an actual process that takes place. So, it's just, once again, this is the most strategic physical asset that you can acquire. Okay, this is the most undervalued physical asset that you can acquire. And for the fact that you can get it under $100 right now, for the fact that you can get it for 67, whatever it is, 60, even 70, 80. I'm telling you, I told you guys, I think silver is going to go to $80 by the end of the year, and easily 100 in early 2026. But what we're seeing right now is there's been so much rigging, so much manipulation. JP Morgan, the central banks have been shorting and rigging and manipulating this market, and we're seeing that breaking point. We're seeing what we call divergence. Okay, we're seeing something that we've never seen, and it's a runaway freight train, and they can't stop it, because as silver continues to rise, the awareness of the value of silver continues to awaken. And when people awaken to just a little bit of the information, just like what we showed here tonight on the Runners Live show, not to mention the other things that we ain't even get into, and what other industries and corporations and governments understand. This is the biggest play of human history. Those who have God's money are going to experience a wealth transfer that they never could have imagined. And it's starting right now, okay, in our lifetime. So listen, you need to get it, okay? Before the live stream, I told Mike I went ahead and bought $1,000 more worth of silver, okay? Listen, don't value your wealth in dollars. We tell people all the time, do not value your wealth in dollars. You value it in ounces, okay? How many ounces of silver do I got? You value it in quantity. How many of a digital asset do I got? You value it in acreage. How many acres of land do I got? Value your wealth in real things, okay? Real assets. Because a dollar is going to continue to lose value, continue to lose status, continue to lose credibility. And as the wars continue to worsen, as the financial crisis continues to unravel, you're going to want to make sure that you have something of real wealth, of real value that can offset your debt, offset the course and trajectory that the economy was going to thrust you into, and put you in position to make sure that a wealthy family comes from you, even if you didn't come from a wealthy family. So get silver, go get silver.
Absolutely, brother. Fire speech there. And so, guys, what we want to show you, right, is we teach and preach about things before they happen. Okay. Is it great to buy silver? Of course, it's always great to buy silver. Would it have been better to listen to us the last 6 years when we were telling you to buy silver, when it was $14, when it was $20, when it was $24? Yes. Okay. So what is the smart money buying now? Okay. That's the question you want to ask yourself. do not worry about the price, because the smart money only buys when the price is down. That's how you get wealthy. You don't get wealthy when everything's at the top. You get wealthy when things are at the bottom. So whales, that means people holding over 100 Bitcoin, bought 54,000 Bitcoin, 4.66 billion over the past week. The fastest accumulation pace since 2012. Over a decade. So the people who have the most Bitcoin are buying the most Bitcoin right now. And most people have either not even gotten into crypto, or even if they are into crypto, they walked away because the price isn't going up 1,000% a day. You guys have got to pay attention here. Visa just added USDC on Solana. Visa will allow US institutions to settle transactions using Circle's USDC on the Solana blockchain. So Visa is now taking cryptocurrency via stablecoins and Solana. Bitcoin whales are buying up Bitcoin. PayPal has a stablecoin. They just submitted an application to become a US bank. Trump just signed an order opening 401k plans to alternative assets, including cryptocurrency, democratizing access to alternative assets for 401k investors. That's from this year in August. And you guys are worried about the price? What do you think big banks and BlackRock and institutions and Wall Street are going to do when they want to buy? They're going to tank the price so that you will sell or not pay attention. Guys, this is it, right? We've been talking about this the entire year.
You see, yeah.
Get ready. You buy when the markets are down. You focus on value, not the price. M.I.M.S.
Yeah.
We're just going to keep saying it, man. We're just going to keep saying it. We're going to keep winning.
Man, look, I'm telling you right now, look, you have to make sure that y'all like this out and that you share this out, because I'm telling you, we're already suppressed. They didn't cut off my, ban my Facebook. And I'm telling you, this information, they don't want people to really realize. They don't want you to capitalize on it. But understand what we're seeing with the rise of blockchain, the rise of stable coins, the rise of physical silver and gold is because we're witnessing the collapse of this debt-based fiat monetary system. And anytime, you know, civilizations or countries going in collapse, they take you to war. And so when we look at what's going on right now with Venezuela and with Trump, the fact is the United States don't have the money for war. Or if we do have the money, it's going to explode the debt even further, which is going to be further loss in confidence in the dollar. And the purchasing power of the dollar is going to rapidly decline. So when you see the events that was happening with Venezuela, right now, this is one of the catalysts, and what we're seeing why these assets are rising in value, because there is a shift that's taking place. Okay, it's the 2026 shift, and so anytime there's financial crisis or there's rumors of war and things of that nature, there's a loss in confidence in the fiat currency, because guess what? Wars cost money. Where are we going to get this money from? Print more money? That's how we fund everything else. So what happens to the purchasing power of the dollar? What happens to the debt? What happens to all? You see, there's a cascading, rolling, domino effect that is taken into consideration. Well, what is it going to look like? And see, the wealthy, the billionaires, the corporations, the government, they have think tanks. Okay, they got analysts. All right, they got people who are charting and predicting and plotting these things out on a year-to-year basis, on a decade basis. They're charting the stars. They're correlating the things that the average person ain't even got time to think about.
Right.
Yeah, real talk. They are. Okay. So when you can get little insight, okay, from a platform like what we are sharing with the runners and people like us who are sharing this information, don't take it lightly. Don't take it lightly. Take advantage. Share this out, because these are critical times that we in right now. Okay, because there's a lot of people that's going to get wiped out. As excited as I am about these assets, because what me and Mike have been doing for over 6 years, helping people get these assets, I'm just as concerned and I'm just as worried about the masses of people that have no idea what's coming, and the insecurity and lack of financial and future, their future and financial ability to provide for themselves and their families at risk. Because when you see these assets rise, it's an indication, folks, that there's something coming, that there's a problem, that there's a change. Those of us who have the assets, we love to see it, but a lot of people don't. So you want to make sure that you, your friends, your family, your co-workers, people who you know, at least give them the option, get them this information and help them get the assets. It's the time.
Yeah, and what I think is one of the most undervalued assets right now, Mims, that we have gotten positioned in, right, that we are winning with, of course, is Texas coin, right? Everyone has that story of, I wish I would have bought Bitcoin. I should have, Well, now you guys have your second chance here, your second chance at greatness, to have an early mover advantage, right? To get it before most people even hear about it and most people even know about it, right? They're very similar, but Bitcoin's almost $100,000. It's very difficult to mine. It's controlled by China, right? We're talking about an American-made layer 1 blockchain, very similar to Bitcoin, but way cheaper and way quicker to send to people. So it gives you that clean slate. And now, Mims, if people don't like centralized authority and kicking them out of the banking system and banning them from Facebook and YouTube, right? Let's get out of the centralized authority of banks controlling everything and centralized authorities controlling us, what we do every day. Let's get back to full financial ownership, peer to peer. When I want to send Ricardo Texit, no one stands in the way. Nobody can stop us. We have full control and zero permission. And again, if you're playing with Wall Street, the big banks, the bonds, the hedge funds, you're going to lose. The rich stack the deck. There's no way to win, right? With blockchain and cryptocurrency, we have a level playing field where the average ordinary person can finally win, right? Versus those centralized big authorities. So again, guys, like we always say, right? This is bigger than just making money, right? This is about our freedom and liberty. And again, that's why silver is so huge, because you cannot just make silver out of thin air, and people can own physical silver. And that's how we take control back. Same thing when it comes to Bitcoin, blockchain, and Texit.
Yeah, without a doubt. Definitely got to put yourself in position to capitalize on the blockchain revolution. And like Mike said, if you did miss Bitcoin, okay, and the ability to mine Bitcoin and getting in early on a project, because you got to understand what makes Bitcoin valuable. It's the miners, the physical infrastructure. You have to understand what makes Bitcoin valuable. It's the community. It's the people who buy the digital asset for whatever reason, whether they wanted to use it as peer-to-peer, which is not used today really as peer-to-peer, whether they're buying it for the store value, right? Or whether they're buying it because, of its popularity and, being a part of community, whatever it is. If you most people have missed that. We have missed that, but you have that opportunity now, okay, with Texas coin, because it takes the same principles and we're seeing the same type of growth and excitement that we saw early in Bitcoin, with a real mining infrastructure being based out in Texas. Okay, so we're talking about the miners, right? What gives Bitcoin value? The miners. When you see this community growing globally, okay, what gives Bitcoin value? The global adoption. Okay, when you see the ability of the people realizing that they can actually trade and spend and mine the digital asset, okay, across the globe, that's what creates the interest. Well, the same thing is here with Texas coin, a proof of work layer 1 blockchain. That's a fork of Litecoin, which, if anybody knows, Litecoin is fast and cheap. Okay, and there is no mystery about who created Texas coin like there is with Bitcoin. We know the founder. Okay, very with a track record, solid track record, and everything. So I get excited when I can find projects and opportunities in the blockchain space that are early on, especially when it comes to mining, putting ourselves in position to get paid every single day for the rest of our life in digital assets. So when you start to participate in the crowdfunding project with Texit, you're going to mine and receive cryptocurrency for the next 130 plus years. Why would you not put yourself in position to capitalize on this digital revolution and start mining cryptocurrency every single day for the rest of your life and getting paid in Texit coin? And of course, the ability to sell it at any time we want, trade it for other digital assets, accumulate it, and as the value goes up, you're sitting on more. It's a no-brainer. So we want to help people continue to win and provide solutions, because the only solution you're going to get from the news or the politicians or whoever is get a job. All they talk about is jobs, jobs, jobs. Listen,
right.
Jobs ain't coming back. Listen, people have no idea how powerful this phone is with AI. They don't have no idea the robots and automation, right? They really don't even need you driving no more. They don't need you in the factory no more. And with smart contracts on the blockchain, they don't need real estate, all the brokers. They don't need any of that stuff anymore. The smart contracts is going to eliminate all the middlemen between any type of business we being done. It's going to be automated. The robots are going to be all the physical labor. You already walk into your little McDonald's or whatever, and they got the kiosks. Soon they're going to have it to where the ain't no humans in the back cooking.
It just happened this week. The first McDonald's ever opened, no humans.
Really?
Yep. I saw it this week, all automated.
There it is, folks. I mean, so once again, project. Where do you see this going in the next 12, 24, 36, 72? Where do you see this ending at the end of the decade? And you got to project forward, and you got to be ahead of the curve. You can't be playing catch up. You can't be behind. You need to be ahead. Okay, if you're going to ride this wave, you got to get ahead of the wave before you can actually ride the wave. You can't be behind the wave trying to catch up.
Facts. Well, on M.I.M.S, we introduced a new video this week, and I know you were on the call today with Bobby, and Layer 2 is coming soon for Texit Coin. And again, guys, this is about bringing the power back to the people. So downtown digital dollars keeps the 3 to 4% that would go to Visa or MasterCard, keeps it in the local community, right, that we're working with. So again, this is just a short video. Actually, let me make sure I shared it the right way. This is a short video that shows how amazing downtown digital dollars are and how we can keep our power and our money at home versus sending it to Wall Street, the big banks, and Visa and MasterCard.
What if every dollar
Here we go.
spent in your community stayed in your community? Right now, money flows faster out than it flows in. Big banks, credit card companies, corporate chains, they're all profiting from your local economy while your small businesses struggle. All that's about to change. We see Main Street not as a relic of the past, but as engines of the future. We've built a smarter system, one where every transaction strengthens your community, where money spent locally stays local, where your favorite coffee shop, bookstore, and family restaurant grow stronger. Look, we get it. This is different. We've been told for decades that the only way forward is through traditional banking systems. But the truth is, those systems were never designed with your community in mind. They weren't built to grow local wealth. They were built to extract it. So instead of handing you new technology and hoping it works, we want to roll up our sleeves, stand beside you, and build the future of your community together. That's why we don't just hand you technology and walk away. We become your partner. We're in the trenches with you every step of the way. Whether you're a shopper, a business, or a city leader, we're here for the long haul. The future of your local economy is yours to shape. Join the movement. Choose Downtown Digital Dollars.
M.I.M.S, absolutely massive.
Yeah.
What Texit is going to be doing with Layer 2. And I love that line in there where it says, these systems weren't built to keep wealth with the people. They were built to extract it. Right? And that's what Texit Coin is doing, is bringing the power and the money back to the people versus sending it to Wall Street, sending it to Washington, D.C., the big banks and the hedge funds, man. So I love the vision and the mission we have built here with Texit. And it's just about seeing the value, guys, not worrying about the price. That will come. But with what we're building here, it's just like we had talked about for the last 6 years, guys, when no one was paying attention. A lot of people fell off because the price of silver was stuck in $20. It seemed like forever.
Yeah.
And now if we could only go back, M.I.M.S, if we could only go back to that $22 day, those $20 days of silver.
Never see it.
Would we buy more? No, I don't think so, bro. It'll never happen again.
We'll never see $20 silver. I mean, unless it's a glitch or something, even then you won't be able to buy it. Even if somehow they was able to short the market down to 20, you're going to pay a premium of $50, okay, just to get the metal. So you're still going to pay $70-something for the silver. But look, I mean, listen, Texit coin, okay, massively undervalued, layer 1, proof of work. The blockchain is a fork of Litecoin. So, but also the value of the miners is that we do have the ability to mine Dogecoin and Litecoin. And they're actually going to be doing that to help add value and secure the infrastructure and the energy costs and things of that nature. So, you know, when you look at what gives something value in the digital space, digital assets, it's the community. Look at meme coins. There's really no use case for meme coins, okay? But what gives it value? The people. The people give it value. And so just like Mike explained with Texit Coin, where now we have downtown digital dollars, communities all across the United States and other places realize that the present financial system and the way they're doing, you know, trade and commerce and business is working against them. When they realize that they can keep that money circulating amongst their community and get all the benefits that the blockchain has to afford it, and then the actual mining infrastructure and community and things of that nature, it's a no-brainer. It's the people that give things value. And understand something about Texit Coin. The community is growing exponentially. When me and Mike got in 6, 7, 8 months ago, it was 5,000 miners. Over 50,000 miners already. The coin was about 50 cents. It's seen an all-time high about $7. Now it's trading about $2. Massive opportunity to get in. Going much higher next year because the community is still growing. People are still buying miners. The layer 2, which the downtown dollars and the other projects that are going to be launched on this blockchain are coming. Listen, you just have to, like I said before, even when it comes to silver, project forward. Do you see the continued growth? Do you see the continued development? Do you see the infrastructure continuing to being built? Do you see the liquidity continuing to be placed in there, being transparent? All those things are here with Texit Coin. So now I look at it like, I look at this at 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, 72 months. When you're investing, when you're putting your money somewhere, right? You cannot look at it day to day.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't be like, oh, it's the price. No, you're missing the value. You're missing the biggest part about changing your life forever. It's not overnight. It's not a get rich quick. You acquire value, and over time, the value will be represented and priced, but you have to be patient. It's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market. It's about accumulating the asset. So that's what we get excited about. Like Mike just said, we've been telling people get silver since it was $20 an ounce. We say, get some silver, $20, $14 an ounce. Get some silver. It's not attractive then. Nobody want to get silver. But now it's at all-time highs, $60. CNBC talking about it. Everybody talking about getting silver. Now everybody want to buy silver. Everybody want to talk about silver. And there's nothing wrong with that because you're still early. I'm glad you're talking about it. But the point is you want to be early. So there's going to be a point, and even now, people are talking about Texit Coin like crazy. Because guess what? Texit Coin is being advertised all across the United States. Okay? And in homes, in restaurants, in airports, on billboards, online. Okay? Texit Coin is being talked about all over. Okay? This space you're so early to this space. And I tell people all the time, there's nothing better than mining cryptocurrency. If you're going to get into blockchain and crypto, mine it. I buy cryptocurrency. You can buy cryptocurrency all day. Okay. But the best position to be in is get paid in cryptocurrency. Okay. Get paid in cryptocurrency. It's about lifestyle, folks. Put yourself in position to live a lifestyle. Travel the world and know, because you acquired certain assets, you don't have to think about where your money's coming in. You know the money's coming in. Okay, but it's about timing and positioning. The opportunity to mine cryptocurrency or mine Texacoin is not always going to be here. We'll probably sell out of all the miners by the end of next year.
Yep.
You won't be able to buy any more miners in Texacoin. Just like I'm telling you, in the next 12, 24 months, you probably won't be able to buy physical silver. You definitely probably won't be able to buy ounces. Maybe they'll fractionalize. You can get little pieces, maybe. If not, they just took everything digital. But listen, you gotta hold on to the physical asset. That takes you to a whole nother realm of wealth building.
No, excellent, brother. And guys, again, we're just going to stress, you have to think long-term, like M.I.M.S talked about, and you have to focus on the value, not the dollar price.
Yeah.
Focusing on dollars guarantees you will lose, right? Flip it. What we are seeing right now in the digital asset space, silver's at an all-time high. Gold's at an all-time high. Are we still buying? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But the best time to buy is when no one was paying attention. But we were paying attention this entire time. We kept talking about it, talking about the real fundamentals, the real value. And now we're doing the same thing in the cryptocurrency space. So again, guys, I don't care what you like. It's up to you. Do your own research. But right now, altcoins are at the best buying entries ever. So if you're into XRP, okay, I'm buying Avalanche. I'm buying Tau, BitTensor. M.I.M.S, I think we got to buy some more Supra. Obviously, we're buying Texit.
Yeah, Texit. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of things. Whatever your favorite project is right now, buy some more, okay? Because I know you bought that project for a reason. This is the best time to buy. You know, we're seeing fear. The market could go a little lower, but you want to make sure that you buy somewhere near the bottom, because nobody can time the market perfectly. You want to buy somewhere near the bottom because these assets will return. These assets will rise back in value. You know, the communities are still there. New people are coming into the blockchain and crypto space and becoming aware of these assets. So as more marketing and more developments and more news comes out, you know, more people are going to invest in even, I think, Mike, I think Trump talked about not a stimulus check, but higher tax returns or something. Money's coming, folks. They're going to print. The printer's going to go burr. It has to. The printer's going to go burr. So I don't know if they're going to do some universal basic income, which they're already piloting that in another country. I put it on my X. I can't remember the exact country, but they've already came out with UBI. Okay. They're already talking about, and here in the U.S., Trump talking about from the tariff money. Okay. And even healthcare money, giving that money back to the people. I mean, so there's just, you know, the money's coming. Okay. The institutional money is coming, which is even bigger. Okay. I think one of your X posts you didn't get to, but it scrolled down and talked about the DTTC and the quadrillions. Listen, folks.
They can't handle that right now.
It's too much. It's too much. It's too much, folks. Just make sure y'all like this out, share this out, get the assets, reach back out to the person, you know what I'm saying, who shared this with you. More than likely, they can help you get some silver, some gold. More than likely, they mine and Texacoin. If not, reach out to me and Mike. But I'm telling you, like, we document history. You know, everything that we're seeing in the global economy right now are symptoms of a system that's in collapse. Okay, we're in a collapse scenario. This is real time. This is live, folks. And you're awake, you're conscious, you're living in it. And every decision that you make, everything that you do right now is going to have a ripple effect in time throughout your future and your legacy. And it's important that you capitalize on that and not get distracted, because there's a lot of distractions right now. Okay, there are forces, there are people that don't want you to win. Okay, you got to show them that they bet their money on the wrong horse. Okay, let's get wealthy. We're gonna get wealthy. It's your time. Nobody can make you do it. You know, I say take the camel to the water, can't make you drink it. But all we can do is substantiate the value and the resources and the information and hope that you plug in and take advantage.
I love it. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. We'll see you guys next week. Keep getting those assets that are undervalued. Lace up. We are wealthy, guys. Peace. Still, we're hitting all-time high.